Welcome back to the SMT YouTube channel. In today's video, we do a follow-up to something that I've been tracking for a couple of years now, namely over the last, I would say, 2 years, is just spectrum. We need a strong, flowing spectrum pipeline for the industry. For those of you that don't know what spectrum is, these are the wireless airwaves by which our wireless and mobile networks that's their lifeblood. It's the bandwidth that you require to transmit data from our devices, to host networks, right? So what makes the Verizon network fast? What makes, the AT&T and T-Mobile networks fast is bandwidth, right? Having upgraded cell towers, having the spectrum to make a fast capacity-based network. All right, so I've been tracking this, and the FCC is being tasked with providing spectrum for the industry so companies can continue to build. We can have fixed wireless access home broadband. We can have really high quality capacity based mobile experiences. And of course, as more usage occurs on the network, you need more bandwidth. So this is why we're tracking this, right? We don't want congested, slow, sluggish network performance. We want the highest order, right? Companies want to provide it and sell it, and then we want to buy it and experience it. So I've been following this story closely, and it looks like the Senate, the United States Senate, has agreed to plan for an allocation of up to 800 megahertz of spectrum for commercial 5G use. So when they say commercial 5G use, they're talking about the companies that build the large mobile networks across the country. This particular legislation is kind of disappointing only in the fact that the FCC was not able to rip away the Department of Defense's lower 3 gigahertz band, which would have been huge. That set of, I guess we'll just call it a range of frequency, is relatively low for a mid-band frequency. It's a low mid-band. And that means it has really great propagation characteristics. It works indoors. It travels further. As you go higher in frequency, the propagation characteristics are reduced. They just don't travel as far. They don't work as well getting indoors, right? So that was the ideal situation, was getting some of that from the United States Department of Defense, which they use for military operations, for radar and other things. So that's kind of disappointing. But if you think about it, 800 megahertz coming to the industry, that's not a bad thing. That is a ton of bandwidth. So you can imagine your favorite providers, Verizon getting a couple hundred megahertz of bandwidth, 200-300, or same thing with AT&T and T-Mobile. They have the opportunity to get that access as well. And like I said, it's still going to be mid-band frequency based. It's just going to be a little bit higher. And I'm not really sure, the specific bands or whatever. I'll have to look and do some more research on it specifically. But what I've noticed about this version of the FCC is they are all about enabling broadband. They're all about making it better. So we're seeing investments into satellite. We're seeing approvals into satellite. We're seeing more and more, I mean, we've already seen the restoration of spectrum authority, right? So like now the FCC can actually assign spectrum to companies, auction and those kind of things. So the FCC Spectrum Authority is restored. Now they can kind of put forth some auctions. Now they can kind of put together a plan, for whether it's satellite or terrestrial or whatever the case may be. But the expectation is that we're going to see, additional airwaves come into the market, and then carriers can bid on them, build it out, and then we have access to higher quality internet connections. And, not everybody's going to get fiber. And not everybody is going to be able to get, wireline services. The support for fixed wireless access, I think, is deserving. Just look at how it's taken off. 5G home internet, we're going to need more bandwidth on there. You know what I mean? And I think the FCC would be wise to enable the companies that are doing this and innovating to continue to support them. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this this news. Give me your questions, comments, and concerns. They're welcome in the section below. Like, share, subscribe, check out some more videos. We'll see you guys soon on the next one.